Robin, so you remember the tail wagging the dog, right? So 5% of you will have your blood pressure lowered dramatically if you take the super aminos without food. 5% of you, and you'll feel it. You'll take the aminos and you'll feel weak a little bit, right? Because 5% of you have that, on the label we have to say take with food. But for the other 95% of you, just not necessary. I never take it with food.
And is it better for those 95%?
To
Are
take
they
without
more
food.
effective to be taken without food?
Yeah, give them a head start. You know what I mean? You know they're pre-digested. Just give them a 15 minutes head start. And they'll move through the system before your other food even starts
At
digesting.
one point I heard you talk about how if you put other proteins in your system while the super aminos are taking their effect, that it lessens the effect of the super aminos. Is that true?
Absolutely. And now, will Dr. Luca admit that? No, because he wants to sell more aminos.
Right.
Me, I just want you to have the best possible effect when you take them.
So what's the ideal amount of time to wait after taking the super aminos for that 95% of people for the aminos to have their maximum effect?
So for people who want to take aminos, right, I would take fruit with the aminos. Just have fruit juice with them. Solves the problem. That quick.
Better to have fruit juice or
If
the
you're, if
best?
you're one of the 5%,
Okay.
Biofruit?
take it. No, because there's no sugar in biofruit.
But for, so
Okay, yeah.
So what you're saying is for the 5% that would experience the
So
lower
I got to tell
blood-
you a story. Luca Moretti would sit at lunch with us, get 3 packs of sugar, the white gross sugar, put 10 aminos in his mouth, pour the sugar into the water, and then drink sugar water to wash his aminos down. I'm like, Luca, because he's not a health guy like us, he's a protein guy. Like his job was to help people who are on dialysis machines, people who are paralyzed, you know, people who are in comas, and they needed to build muscle and they died.
Right.
And he found the most amazing way, and it just so happens to be vegan, non-GMO, and awesome for us too.
Right.
But that wasn't why it was created. It wasn't created for us. It was created for those hospitals.
Uh-huh.
You know, for those people. You know, because if you're on a dialysis machine, you can't eat meat. The aminos are pre-digested. They go through your lymph fluid. They don't even tax your liver or your kidneys.
Right.
That's what makes them so amazing.
Right.
So we just are tapping into the greatness of the aminos for our use.
And I heard that the aminos are made from fermented garbanzo beans. Is that true?
Partly, they're made from legumes that are non-soy, and they are isolated proteins. So they don't carry any of the protein of the food they came from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they're pre-digested enzymatically. So the enzymes break down the food, and then the broken down is put into a centrifuge. The centrifuge stratifies the amino acids, and then they're segregated that way.
So someone with a legume sensitivity shouldn't have any problem
Shouldn't have any
with
problem
these
with
super
it, yeah.
aminos. And last clarifying question on the super
Now again, just because of the, you know, for certain people, I say, you know, if you're allergic to legumes, I tell them not to take them, but I found that they take them anyway with no problem.
Right.
Pre-digested is not the same thing as fermented though, because I mean, a lot of people are scared of the word ferment, so I don't know if you want to
Yeah.
say that.
Well, the ferment, and I don't care about how to say it, I tell the truth, and that's the truth. So the
Right.
ferment is
ferment?
part of the process prior to separation, prior to pre-digestion. Yeah.
Last follow-up on that. When people are taking the aminos as part of a strict, like let's say protein or calorie counting diet, how many grams of protein do you count the aminos as, because they're so much more effective since they're being assimilated and have the higher net nitrogen utilization levels?
I would say about a factor of 5 to 10
5 to 10. Okay.
Per tablet?
per tablet. Yeah.
And sorry, last.
Just an interview.
Ideally, wait how long? Ideally, wait how long after taking your aminos before eating other protein?
For
An
me,
hour?
like 15 minutes, 20
15
minutes.
minutes? Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm done.
Because remember,
Thanks,
they're
y'all.
pre-digested.
Dave, there was a
Great
number of
questions.
300 grams, like you would have to eat the equivalent of 300 grams of meat or animal source protein to get the same amount of protein from 10 tablets. Can you?
I would just use my figure. Just each amino is equal to about 5 to 10 grams of meat. If you were to eat it, and the effectiveness that it works in your body.
Thank you.
Each single amino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the net nitrogen utilization is 99% versus like 10 to 35% on like plant animal.
That's for the meat eaters.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm taking 30
It's for
today.
all the athletes.
Dave, how is the bio regen